Is a Rosemary return near? Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff. I am your host, Alexis Carrillo, and tonight we have another episode of Impact Wrestling on Pop TV. We are still on the road to the biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory, just 10 days away at New York City at the Melrose Ballroom. And one thing I've been wondering for quite a few weeks when watching Impact Wrestling is, where are they going at with this entire Su Yung angle? Because she is not gonna be anywhere near the Knockouts Championship come Bound for Glory, or even after Bound for Glory. Right now, Su Yung is embroiled in a feud, in a rivalry with Kiera Hogan and Ali, along with her surprisingly athletic undead bridesmaid, or undead maid of honor, whatever they are calling her. But it got me thinking, what are they building to? What are they building towards with Su Yung? Specifically, because this is a character that needs to keep up its aura. You need to keep up the illusion of Su Yung. You can't bring this type of character down to the level of a more grounded character like Ali or like Kiera Hogan. And I feel that every week that has gone by since she's lost that Knockouts Championship, we've been getting closer and closer to her getting on that same level. And I think possibly a Rosemary return would elevate her back to a very Phenom-esque, iconic figure that we have known her to be since she won the Knockouts Championship. Now, will we see Rosemary return at Bound for Glory? Possibly. There is a possibility. I do not know exactly how long her recovery from surgery was going to be, but I do recall a tweet from Rosemary stating that her return, or alluding that her return would be near, or is pretty near. As far as her match against Kiera Hogan tonight, last week Kiera Hogan got the pin fall over Su Yung in that tag team match, so I think turnabout's fair play. You need Su Yung to gain some momentum. You need to put her back on top of a few of the other knockouts, hence why I believe Su Yung is coming out with the victory against Kiera Hogan tonight. We have Eli Drake's Open Challenge tonight. Yet another edition of Eli Drake's Open Challenge. And what I'm expecting from this is a Mexican luchador coming out and facing the namer of dummies in the middle of that ring. And I've got to point this out, that segment with him, roaming the streets of Mexico City, tonto si, dummy yeah, to everyone and anyone that he saw, that was pretty funny. And again, looking towards the future, this Eli Drake Open Challenge has got to give. You got to do something more with a talent like Eli Drake. And I pointed this out a few days ago on social media in a comment section, how Eli Drake's possible Open Challenge at Bound for Glory, it's not official obviously, but there's a possibility he could have an Open Challenge segment at Bound for Glory, and that could lead to Chris Jericho debuting for Impact Wrestling. I'm just putting it out there. It's a possibility. Anything can happen. It's New York City. It's Bound for Glory. It's the biggest pay-per-view of the year. You need to make a big statement. And I gotta say, Eli Drake versus Chris Jericho, both in the ring and specifically on the mic, that would be just so exciting and so damn entertaining. Hopefully that happens. We'll just have to wait and see. Hendry versus the Murder Clown. I am unfamiliar with the Murder Clown. We saw what transpired last week. Joe, Hendry, and Grado were having a backstage segment, and Katarina shows up, informs Joe Hendry that next week he's going to be facing Murder Clown, which I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of clowns, not a big fan of horror, other than the Joker, but still. So I'm not a big fan of these type of horror segments. So I'm expecting Hendry to get the win over Murder Clown, try to keep this friendship between him and Grado intact, try to keep the momentum going, and Murder Clown really doesn't benefit a lot. Well, nobody benefits from Murder Clown winning this match. No one. Possibly Katarina, but still, I think you need a much longer term vision, a longer, more tenured Impact star to be the one to team up with Katarina to face off against Joe Hendry. So right now, I'm going with a Hendry victory over Murder Clown. We have another episode of the hottest, another edition of the hottest talk show in wrestling today, The Smoke Show with Scarlett Bordeaux. And really no idea who might show up. Just gotta say, what you can expect from this is that the 10 will get sexy in this segment. You can expect that. You can look forward to that. We'll just have to wait and see what else they have in store for tonight's Smoke Show. We have that announcement that she's on a talent scout. She's on a search for talent for her to represent or somehow in that venue. We'll just have to wait and see. There have been mentions of her possibly teaming with Eli Drake, possibly aligning herself with somebody else. I think that would be helpful to whoever she's aligned with, because Scarlett Bordeaux is someone who's gotten a lot of fans on board with her since her debut on Impact. So, yes, whoever gets on board with the Smoke Show will definitely be elevated. Sydal versus Swann. Rich Swann versus Matt Sydal tonight. I've got to say, honestly, I expected this to be a match at Bound for Glory. There is still the possibility it could be a match for Bound for Glory. So, that option is still on the table. Right now, I'm getting the sense that Matt Sydal is all about ducking a guy like Rich Swann. I'm expecting that to happen on tonight's episode of Impact. Just like a few weeks ago, this match was planned. Sydal had other plans and, programmed a tag team match with them as tag team partners. Swann wasn't a fan. Now they're going to face off each other. And I got to say, if this match does happen tonight, if Swann versus Sydal does happen tonight, it's going to be a show stealer. It's going to be a showstopper because it's two of the brightest, fast-paced, high-flying, athletic X-Division stars today. As far as a winner, possibly Swann. If there has to be a winner, I have to go with Swann, leading to Sydal attacking him from behind, leading up to their match at Bound for Glory, or a multi-man X-Division match at Bound for Glory. That's something we'll have to wait and see on the coming weeks of Impact Wrestling. And finally, what's next for LAX? We all saw this segment last week. Right after LAX got a win over the Desi Hit Squad, the tag team champions were riding high. We're getting some momentum on the road to Bound for Glory. And then we've got the OGs along with King in a backstage segment, making fun, poking fun at Conan and his past as a luchador. And then proceeding to burning Conan's mask, which in Mexican lucha libre culture is extremely disrespectful. It would be more disrespectful if Conan were an active wrestler, but it is still disrespectful because of mask in Mexican lucha libre, I understand, is akin to its legacy, to the wrestler's legacy, so you don't want to disrespect that. As far as the ceasefire, Conan is too smart, and I'm liking the way the OGs are now targeting Conan instead of the Young Bucks, instead of Santana and Ortiz, who follow Conan's orders, who are a little bit more younger, more impulsive about their actions and still follow Conan's orders. Now they're trying to push Conan's buttons, and that might lead to Conan finally giving in into breaking the ceasefire. We'll just have to wait and see. And I've got to say, LAX versus the OGs, due to their past, even before Slammiversary, this is the best built feud, the best built rivalry on the road to Bound for Glory. Just wanted to point that out. Last week's tag team main event, it was, at least for me, it seemed more like a way to build up Moose versus Eddie Edwards. You've really got to get the gears rolling for Aries versus Impact. At least for me. In my opinion, there's something missing in this feud. There's something missing in this rivalry. Again, the match, I can expect it to be one of the best, if not the best, at Bound for Glory. The rivalry is just, a little bit cold right now. Let's hope that tonight's episode of Impact changes that a lot. So anyway, that's a preview for Impact Wrestling tonight. Make sure you tune in to Pop TV to catch Impact on the road to Bound for Glory, just 10 days away. If you follow wrestling news, topic discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff, consider subscribing. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. That's it for me. Till next time.